Hi friends. I realized I haven't really captured much of my first months in Paris, but they have certainly been full. It's still hard to believe that I don't have a home in the States to return to, but I've really enjoyed being based in this new place for a while. I haven't just been in Paris. I've also visited Jordan and Finland for work, and Portugal for a wedding, and Glastonbury for an insane weekend of music. And it's been beautiful and strange having this new journey on my own, and of course, there's already been ups and downs, but I want to do a better job of capturing my time here, and so I'm picking up the camera and giving you a look into an ideal day in the city here. Hello from Paris. How are we? So I actually moved out of New York almost 3 months ago now, which is crazy. This has been apparently historically one of the worst Parisian summers in a long time weather-wise. It has been gloomy. It's poured rain, but now it's sunny, so we're gonna make the most of the day, and hopefully the weather holds and get up to kind of how I would spend my ideal sunny little Sunday in Paris. First things first, we obviously need coffee, and let's hit up a park too while we're at it. I cannot believe I'm putting on a jacket in the middle of July, but we do what we must. Let's go.
This is all you know. This is all you know.
I got the goods. I just hit up a random coffee shop in this area, and we're about to go to Parc Monceau. Monceau? I hope I'm saying that right. There's so many beautiful parks in Paris, but I feel like some of the smaller ones are overlooked, and this one is... she's gorgeous. Let me show you. Park is so cute. There's so many people just sitting, enjoying, taking a lunch break. Lots of couples of all ages. That's something about Paris, is that the lovers are not only young, teenagers to people in their 60s. It's honestly quite cute. It does accentuate my singleness, but I can appreciate. And most of the time, I love my own company. So I looked up the history of this park, as I do. So this land was originally bought back by Duke of Chartres, if I'm saying this right, in 1769. This is what he was quoted saying about it. Let me read this to you. It's necessary to preserve the charm that one encounters entering the garden, and to renew it with each step, so the visitor and his soul will have the desire to revisit the garden every day. The true art is to know how to keep the visitors there, otherwise they will go to the real countryside to find what should be found in this garden. The image of liberty. And while the Duke was a supporter of the French Revolution, because he was rich, he ended up getting guillotined, so... thanks, Duke, for this beautiful park. I'm sorry for your loss. But while we're having a lovely little Paris day, for those who follow this channel, I moved, in quotations, moved to Paris 3 months ago. I don't know where the time goes. As in, I have a visa and I'm leaving New York for a while. The goal is to be here for at least like 8 months to a year and really experience Paris. And even in the last 3 months, I feel like I have learned a lot about French versus New York living. All right, we're changing positions. This means we're getting down to business. We're gonna compare specifically New York to Paris. For one, cost-wise, Paris is definitely cheaper. It's not a cheap city, but I would say I spend on average 30% less on everything. Rent is cheaper, eating out is a lot cheaper, drinking is cheaper, Ubers are cheaper. If you're coming from a New York budget to Paris, you're like, this is nice. In terms of perspective, I think in the States you're taught to view the world with a sense of optimism, whereas here people have a bit more of a sense of pessimism and kind of like are on the defense in the way they think and go about their thought process. Take that as you will. I will say though, I think New York, shockingly, is friendlier. This is a generalization, but a lot of people here have a lot of the same friends they've had their entire life and don't feel the need / want to expand beyond that. Whereas what I like about New York is so many people are expats, so diverse, and people are a bit friendlier because of that, because so many people are coming from somewhere else. One of my main takeaways, which I love, is people have a strong understanding of what is enough. which does not exist in a place like New York. For example, a lot of businesses here don't want to blow up. They don't want to become TikTok famous. Like I see signs like that all the time, like don't post on TikTok. Instead, they want to just have like a cute local shop that creates a sense of community. They don't care about becoming this large enterprise, which as an American is baffling for me. And even with conversations with friends here, there are a lot of people who are like, yeah, I want to make enough to be comfortable, but I mostly just want to like enjoy my life outside of work instead of always seeking that next pinnacle of success. Every time I like walk down any street, there's always so many French people just having like long lunches on a Tuesday at like 1 p.m. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I think there's just a healthier balance of living. Let's hop on a Lime bike, which is my favorite mode of transportation. We're in the 17th arrondissement. We're gonna head towards the 1st, so let's go.
Tree, the last weekend of summer.
Just bike down to the Tuileries Gardens. It is the summer of the Olympics, so there's a bit of construction going on. I think if you've never been to Paris, maybe wait for the Olympics to be over. There clearly is some changes at the moment.
The empire at our fingertips, the autumn to discover. If I would.
I recently started this book called The Power of Geography by Tim Marshall. I read another book of his called Prisoners of Geography, which was really well done. I promise this is more interesting than it sounds. At least if you like political science and geography and history, it's a good read.
Would you be my Valentine? Would you be?
Hello from the Tuileries Gardens. This is probably the most touristy, I would say, but I'm gonna go to the Lingerie Museum, famous one with the Monet lilies, and I haven't been there in years. It's literally within Tuileries, so it's great to do both. Today it's hot, but it's not sunny, and while I do miss the sun, I think it's maybe for the best because I'm not completely sweating. It's a beautiful day, so happy to be here. Let's go! I feel like I always end up vlogging here. I promise I spend time in other areas, but at the same time, I feel like whenever a friend is like wants to grab dinner or drinks, we always end up in this area. So many good thrift shops here and good coffee shops. And I just checked out Suddenly Heart, and I think I might have fallen for a bit of an Instagram trap because it is so aesthetically pleasing, but the coffee was a bit overpriced. I want to check out a few other shops in the area, so let's go. Because I was starting to sweat through the long sleeve, but I'm at home for a little bit, and I stopped by PharmaBest on my way home and figured I'd do a little pharmacy haul because if you're in Paris, you gotta pick up some good skincare. I really enjoyed my little first half of the day out and about exploring Paris. I feel like I covered honestly quite a bit of ground, and I feel like it's a city that's actually quite fun to spend time on your own in. I feel like sometimes living in New York, I'd feel quite lonely spending time alone, but there's something about Paris that spending time alone I usually really enjoy and like love leaning into. I do still get social anxiety for sure for certain things. I'm still kind of like working on those skill sets to get just more comfortable, but I feel like I made a lot of strides. All these things being said, I actually have talked about this in therapy before, especially like the solo travel anxieties, and I feel like talking to a therapist about kind of how to have helpful tools in moments where maybe I'm like feeling a little socially anxious to kind of work through to be more comfortable has really helped me. While I like being independent, it doesn't always come naturally. Talking to a therapist and just like working through different aspects of this has been so helpful for me. So speaking of therapy, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you're unfamiliar, BetterHelp basically helps connect you to a licensed therapist to talk about your problems with. First, you go to their site, you answer a few questions, and BetterHelp. So first, you honestly just go onto their website, you answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can help connect you to a professional who has had years of professional experience helping people with struggles just like yours. And it's so easy to use. You can do it all from the comfort of your phone or your computer, which I really love. So I've always preferred doing therapy from my own home. So I love that I can do like a video chat or a phone call or messaging, just whatever is easiest or most comfortable for you. And it's truly the easiest place to get started with therapy. So let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you. You can go to betterhelp.com, that's HELP/Elena, or type in Elena Tabor when you sign up and you get a special little discount on your first month. So definitely consider taking charge of your mental health and trying out therapy, because I'm a huge fan. It's genuinely changed my life. So before we head out for a little bit more Parisian exploring, I gotta give you guys some pharma recs because I got some goods. I did a little bit of damage. It's a restock, if you will. First things first, let's talk about Caudalie. I love Caudalie. I've used Caudalie for years. If you're wanting to save some bucks, because Caudalie's not always cheap, it is less expensive to buy at the pharmacies here. So I decided to try out their Crème Nuit Glycolique Anti-Tache, or dark spot correcting glycolic night cream for evening and refining skin texture, because I just have some red spots and whatnot, and I've heard good things about it. I love Caudalie sunscreen as well. This is the Venosun Perfect Spray Invisible. It does go in with like a little bit of like, a white sheen, but it rubs in quickly and easily. It has a really nice smell, you know? It's like sunscreeny still, so it smells beachy, but it's not like chemically. So I'm headed to Ibiza or Ibiza in Greece soon, and this is coming with me. Another French pharmacy classic is A313, which is a retinol alternative. So retinols are great for anti-aging. They are good for just like evening your skin texture. Another amazing French brand is Nuxe. I have their oil as well, and so I decided I'd try out Honey Lip Care, which is like a lovely little gloss that gives you a nice little shine, but without like the stickiness of some lip glosses. Also got some more La Roche-Posay facial sunscreen. Love them. Whenever I run out of products in Paris and I can't have access to like all the things I would get in the States, usually my go-to brands are either Caudalie or La Roche-Posay. Bioderma micellar water. I've been needing like a micellar water or a toner just to kind of like get that layer of city dirt off my face. Okay, hair supplements. So I've been using Nutrafol for a while, which I think has been working. Honestly, I've been using them for like 8 months, and I deal with like really gnarly hair breakage, like chunks of my hair just break off. This is supposed to be down to here, but like this just breaks off. I don't know why. I've done every test under the sun and no success. And I do love Nutrafol, but again, I'm running out. So I figured I'd try out these Phyto Cheveux et Ongles supplements. And then one of the final things I picked up is the Amika Nourishing Mask. I just adore this. I think it's so good if your hair runs on the dry side. Very excited about my PharmaBest haul. I'll link them below too, so if you're not in Paris, you can still get, I think, a decent amount of these. And I'm gonna head back out in a little bit here and go to Canal Saint-Martin with a friend, which is like a very cute river. It's kind of the alternative to the Seine, I feel like. Anytime you go out when the weather's good, there's just like completely lined with like the young local Parisians. It is nice to like take a drink or a little picnic and just hang out there. And then we'll go out to dinner to Pristine. Let's get back out there and have an ideal Parisian summer day, shall we?
Like you've been there before. I'm befriended and then lose you.
What a nice afternoon.
I know.
Paris is finally summery.
We got the dream set up.
Tourist mode.
Yep.
Gladly.
Except Canal Saint-Martin in the 10th is a little less touristy, which is nice.
I think much less actually.
Much less.
It's just busy because everybody is enjoying.
The weather is good.
At the end of my bed, in the palm tree lightning, it was nothing you did.